When you are going through a spiritual awakening, your only one goal and vision, if any, especially if you've also got a Kundalini awakening, if any, is just one. And that one is for Shakti to meet Shiva. That one is for you to go from a state that has been outwardly manifest to a state that is going back into the source of it all, going back into a complete clean state, a completely clean slate where there is nothing, but it holds the absolute potential. That being the case, as you're going through your Kundalini awakening, as you're going through your spiritual awakening, and your spiritual awakening will give you the consciousness that you need to deal with the Kundalini awakening, especially if it is a spontaneous one. And even if you have been initiated by a guru or a teacher, you will nevertheless still have to go through the entire experience on your own. And your spiritual awakening is what is going to get you through it, because it will give you the consciousness that you need within which to evolve the experience of the Kundalini. Now, where does the law of attraction, where does manifestation come into this whole thing? And is it necessary for you who's gone through an awakening to even embark on a personal development course, for you to go on some kind of self-improvement journey? Do you still need to go on to these quests of wanting to change the way things are, you wanting to manifest certain things, you getting and taking charge of your reality, wanting to quantum jump, consciously want to go into these deep states of meditation? Now, the irony here is, for you who is going through a spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening, for you to dip into these states is almost natural. You don't have to go through you don't need tools. You won't have to do any breath work. You won't have to do any postures, any mudras. Post an awakening where you've experienced a paradigm shift of consciousness. What is required, rather than a tool in order for you to elevate your consciousness even further, is for you to completely involve yourself in the present consciousness at where you're at. Let it run its course. You see, what we all have as complex organisms is the mechanism to self-balance. It's called homeostasis. If you allow nature to completely do what nature does, without interfering in the process, without trying to control it, without you trying to own the process, you will find that you will automatically come into a place of homeostasis. This is why a lot of you will experience spontaneous Kundalini awakening, because the spontaneous Kundalini awakening, the fact that the Kundalini has awakened without you knowing what it is, and eventually you're bound to find out what it is, that is the reset button. That basically is a way, it's a means of bringing you right back into balance if you allow the process to unfold. Now, if you don't have a vehicle, you can say that your spiritual awakening is a vehicle through which to use Kundalini awakening to elevate your consciousness. If your Kundalini awakening is up and running, but you don't have a spiritual awakening, you don't have a path, you haven't already shifted your consciousness. By way of illustration, you may have had a consciousness that's only 3D, that is an animal consciousness that is only concerned with its survival. If you haven't shifted from that mode onto the mode of, hang on, I'm not here just to survive, because the difference between us and an animal is intellect. We have an intellect, we have the process of discrimination, we can discern, we can access higher states. So are we here just for survival, or is there something more? So when you've elevated that consciousness and you've got that Kundalini awakening, you can then literally guide it and get it to where it wants to be. Now, as you're going through all of this, some of us rather, will have a desire to change the way our lives are, and you'll want to manifest things, and you'll want to get into this mode of, how do I access these other states, right? You may be going through a heart opening, or you may have just experienced an opening of your Muladhara. You might have now started experiencing the world of energy. You see, you waking up to the energetic body is not the same as a Kundalini awakening, and it is also not the same as spiritual awakening. You are awakened to the energetic dimension of self, yet it is still not the same as you awakening to the spirit of everything, which is basically to all that is. Because there's no real word for it. It is to everything that there is. It is to our very essence, which cannot be understood relationally. It cannot be understood within a container, because if you want to understand it within a container, it will be God. And there is no God as such. There is just us and the consciousness. The God is there because of our mothers, because of our fathers, because of our caregivers. So we created a being that is akin to this, that is taking care of us. That then we created this either God-fearing or God-loving personality or relationship that we would have with it. And then when you completely come out of the dogma, you come out of the indoctrination, you come out of the ideology or the philosophy, and you then delve deeper, which is what your spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening will do. You will be the only one responsible. You will not have anything tangible to hold on to say, because this is the magic of awakening, folks, that you have awoken the self-guiding principle inside of you. You have awoken the guru within. You have awoken the sleeping serpent. You have awoken that power within you, which basically gives you a glimpse into home. It gives you a glimpse into source. So do you then at this stage have a desire for £1 million, £10 million, or to become a billionaire? Do you then at this stage need to embark on a course? Do you need to go on some sort of a self-development course? Or do you need to go on to any course that is going to teach you how to elevate your consciousness? Now the simple answer to that, I would like to say, is no, you don't. Because if you're able to embrace your spiritual awakening as the teacher, and you're able to surrender to this, and you're able to go with it, and you develop your awareness, you go into this, you're a master in making. And this is where the masters before came from. They too had this profound experience. They too then delved deeper into it, as opposed to sort of waiting for someone to hold our hand and take us to the next stage. This is the true magic of an awakening, that is the only thing that is going to hold your hand. That is the only thing. Now, when you've had that true awakening, with that paradigm shift of consciousness, then you don't need anything, because that awakening takes you. Now, if you have awakened, but only partially, or where you have awakened, but perhaps more on your lower chakras or more on your higher chakras, and when there are imbalances somewhere, this is where you may be drawn towards teachers, or you may be feeling that maybe I do need a personal development course. Now, the kind of courses that you're going to go for, now, if you go for a course that is to do with your mindset, that is to do with curing the mind, then this is going to be of absolute no use to you, because it's something that you'll have to copy and paste, and then you practice until it becomes a habit, and then it becomes a new mindset. But it'll trouble you because your consciousness has changed. So the very vehicle, your blueprint has changed. So what that means is, say for example, the person you were before had, I don't know, had endometriosis or fibroids, or had allergies, or had the tendency of developing sinuses, and whatever it is. When you go through your awakening, you switch to a new personality, a new vehicle, and you'll find that this person now doesn't have any of these things. And you'll feel that, look, my awakening, I was able to heal myself, I had a miracle. But in fact, what has happened is that you've almost quantum leaped, quantum jumped into another you that exists with that level of consciousness that has a different personality type. So now you've tapped into a different person, and this different person has different friends, has a different vibe, has different likes, has different preferences. So as such, you will then not need to embark on a personal development course unless you're feeling insecure about your relationship with yourself. Because yourself is the awakening. Yourself is the awakened guru. So it's up to you. Do you want to bridge the gap yourself, or you want a guiding stick? You can have a sounding board, you can have a guide, but not a crutch. Do you need to have a desire to manifest? No, you may still have one, but the magic once again is you're letting go of the desire, because to have a desire is to want to control the outcome of something. To have a desire means that wherever you are right now, you're not fully, completely embodied, present in prayer, in poise, and in a total acceptance of all that is, without any hue and shade of this is good or this is bad, this is desirable, this is undesirable. So when you're able to accept something without having your take on it, your view, your opinion on how it is, you won't want to manifest. You won't have any desire. And so without it, you are in your life wherever you are, and things will just come to you, whatever it is. So folks, would like to end this with one thing: wherever you are and whatever's coming and going out of your life is representative of what your level of consciousness is telling you right now. Your consciousness talks to you all the time. When we meditate, we listen. When we pray, we cast a spell. We intend as to what we request ought to be done. When we chant a mantra, we purposefully, intentionally cast a spell of vibrational frequency. We say, I want to elevate myself. And this is why, you might have heard when you chant a mantra, you say we have to siddh it. We have got to awaken that mantra, because that's why you'll find that certain mantras have to be chanted a certain amount of times, certain days. You align it all because you're trying to awaken that mantra, because otherwise it is just you repetitively chanting something with absolutely it doesn't mean anything. And after a while, when it's awakened, it just sort of takes over you, because the intent basically takes over you, and it just comes to be. Now with your spiritual awakening, because you're pure, you're clean slate, you have no intent as such. You see, because you're never going to be engaging the mind. So everything is bypassed. You are living your life through perception. You're living your life through awakened awareness. So much love to you. Take care and see you soon. Happy profound experience.